you know, get over my slight bout of food poisoning that I got for Christmas. Yeah, I had a very interesting last last three. I had an interesting last 2 months. Well, before the year finished, I usually don't get sick, but those 2 months I had a first situation in November, and then but I catch myself. So it's always a pleasure to be here in the company of 103.1 FM. A pleasant good morning to our Facebook listeners on Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT, and on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. So as usual, we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. So today, we're going to be discussing the issue of acid reflux. And interestingly, you could there's a package that we actually have right now as regards to actually address that situation, which is the yes. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Yeah, that particular package as it relates to acid reflux, simply because acid reflux is a very annoying, painful situation, but it's not only annoying and painful, but it can actually reach the point where it causes serious issues in the body. So much so it could actually lead to things like colorectal cancer, other serious inflammatory bowel conditions, things like Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, and the list goes on and on. So it is a matter of really understanding the importance of proper digestion, and of course, how can one actually determine whether they have a digestive problem or whether they have acid reflux or not. So what really is acid reflux? Acid reflux is primarily where you have acid coming back up from the stomach into the esophagus and causing a lot of irritation, funny taste in your mouth, even problems with bad breath, and a number of other issues. There's something known as GERD, which is gastrointestinal reflux disease. So that's primarily the full name, where this esophagus, in some cases, as I said, acid comes back up and causes serious issues in the esophagus, the mouth, that type of thing. But what the issue is that the individual who is getting a situation or a episode of acid reflux usually feels very badly, to the extent where they feel as if their cardiovascular system is being affected, because you get a lot of pain in your chest, especially the left side area where your heart is located. So you usually find that that particular situation is one where you're always in a lot of pain, you're always in a lot of distress. If it gets very serious and you actually have to go to the hospital, it reaches a point where you literally feel as if you're getting a heart attack, right? So how can someone who suffers from acid reflux, or how do you know if you're suffering from acid reflux? And as I said, problems with a lot of burning in your chest, even problems breathing in some cases. You cannot lie and sleep. You have to actually sit up, so you have to put like about 3-4 pillows behind you and actually sleep sitting as opposed to laying down. Because when you lay down, you feel as if all this acid is coming up, it's burning, difficulty swallowing. All those are indications of gastrointestinal reflux disease, or some early indication of digestive problems, bloating, flatulence. If you have a lot of gas, if you're always belching, passing a lot of gas, that is also an indication of gastrointestinal problems, even constipation as well. So that particular package that we have at Batson and Associates is one that involves the Santulan, the Alkagen water, and we have either the Digestive Balance or the Stem Cell Digestive. Either one of those digestive could work, because I know we have the Stem Cell Digestive in stock. The Digestive Balance we do have, but I don't think we have that much. We should be getting later on in the month. Well, not later in the month, just like next week, please God. So with that particular acid situation, one of the things that the Alkagen water helps to do, remember, Alkagen water is a premium alkaline water. What does that mean? It means that the water carries a pH of 8.5, anywhere between 8.59, because depending on when the water was bottled, if you test the pH, you would get anywhere in that particular vicinity. And that is very important. It is very beneficial. It is also very helpful, simply because it addresses a pH problem, especially if you're dealing with an acid reflux situation. So it's actually going to help to calm the stomach. In some cases, we have persons who use that water And just by using that alone, the acid reflux situation went away completely. And these were persons who were things like Nexium, Pantecta, Omeprazole, Omes, those type of things. So it's a product that you can derive a lot of benefit from. In that package also has the Santulan, which is the 7-channel detox tea. Now, why that tea helps for acid reflux and stomach issues is that one of the ingredients in it is something known as papaya, or we call pawpaw. Now, the thing is, pawpaw has an enzyme in it called papain, which is very effective in assisting with gastrointestinal problems. That product also has Nigella sativia. It also, which is black seed, which is very good also for the gastrointestinal system, also for the respiratory system. So by using the 7-channel detox, you're not only getting benefit to the gastrointestinal system simply because it is a colon cleanser or colon detox, but you're also cleaning kidney, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So of course you're going to derive maximum benefits from that. Even persons who have had COVID, because and I actually think I'm going to speak about that next program, which is long COVID. There are a lot of persons who have gotten COVID-19. You have gotten over it, but you're not completely over it because you're still not feeling well and you're having problems with breathing and that type of thing. That is something that Batson and Associates can help you with. Just recently we had someone who gave us a testimony where they had a particular situation like that, and their breathing has significantly increased, and they have seen significant improvement in that entire situation. So the word of advice and warning I could always expound further next week is that you need to pay very close attention if you had COVID-19, especially as regards to your lungs. If you do not do that, I'm telling you, you're going to end up in a problem where that's going to change from long COVID to tuberculosis to pneumonia. The list could be as long as possible. And you could end up with a serious respiratory problem. Okay? So feel free to give us a call or visit those telephone numbers and location. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. We are also on the corner of Ramsmouth Trace and the SS Erin Main Road, as well as Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, and the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Keep in mind that this program is an interactive one, so if you have any questions regarding what we're discussing or any health issue, you can feel free to ask. Blood in the stool. Well, if you've seen blood in your stool is an indication, well, it depends on the color of blood. If you've seen bright red blood, is an indication of a lower intestinal problem. If you're seeing dark color blood, it's usually upper intestines, which is a bad sign. So that could be indication of early inflammatory bowel situations like Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis. If you're seeing, it could also be an indication of piles or hemorrhoids. So some sort of interruption in the gastrointestinal system. Increasing your water intake is something you should pay attention to if that is happening to you. And again, the alkagen water is going to help significantly because of all the benefits. Not only our alkaline water, but also a water that has something known as ORP, which is an acronym for oxidative reduction potential, which simply means that the water has antioxidant properties. Very good product to familiarize with yourself with. We have a next question?
Yeah, this is another question related to the products itself and the alkagen water. Can we use it both?
Of course, they actually use in tandem, for want of a better expression, simply because with Santulan being the 7-channel detox, remember this is removing a lot of toxins from different organs, primarily your liver. Your liver is one of the organs that carries some of the worst toxins. So what the alkagen water is going to actually help to do is help in that situation of detoxifying the body, because sometimes what we let persons do is that if you have a situation where you're dehydrated, which means you're not a person who drink a lot of water, what we normally recommend, before you start certain products and services at Batson and Associates, we would recommend that you do the water cleanse, where you actually now start using the alkagen water 6 to 8 ounces every day to start to flush the system out. So that when you start to use the heavier cleanses like the Santulan, advanced chlorophyll, those type of things, which has cleansing properties as well in them, you don't end up in a situation with healing crisis where you end up with buttons, or you have situations with arthritis, pain, headaches, those type of things.
Okay, so back to acid reflux, and I know that you mentioned blood thinning.
Mm-hmm.
He experiences this swollen tummy.
Right.
Usually in the evenings, and it would be really stiff from the top, and then by morning it was hot. Is that linked to the acid reflux?
Just repeat that 1 minute for me, please.
Oh no, so she has a swollen tummy in the evenings,
Right.
and it's really tough. It's stiff.
Yeah, well, that could definitely be an early indication of problems with digestion. So you have some flatulence, you have some bloating, and that usually gives you a very high stiff tummy. Those of you are very who are guilty of not eating on time and missing meals, you're going to have a lot of those problems. Persons who like a lot of cold water, you're encouraging a lot of wind and gas in your system. So what you need to do, there's actually a tea that we have. How could I have forgotten that? We actually have a tea called gastrointestinal tea or gastro tea. Watch me. Get yourself some of that. Very impressive product. It helps significantly. Because the thing is, I was actually looking, because the company that I usually deal with, I was having a conversation with one of them and I was saying, he was like, Dr. Batson, but how come you never order the gastro tea? I was like, you all have a gastro tea? He's like, yeah, we have a tea for, acid reflux, bloating, gas, those type of things. So I did, in fact, start bringing it on. Rave reviews, a lot of testimonies, a lot of persons using it and getting great results. So imagine just by using a cup of tea, you could actually start to improve that whole digestive situation. Okay, so those numbers again, you can give us a call on 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That's 314-9975. And keep in mind to check out our Facebook and Instagram, where we have that package that we promoting there for acid reflux. The reason why we decided to do that is coming off on the beginning of the year. You usually have cleanse, people looking to cleanse and detoxify because of the season before Christmas. Well, we don't have any carnival this year. So, that is why it was so popular. So we do have a package, a special there. You can check it out on our Facebook. It has the products, it has the prices, that type of thing. Keep in mind, we do have road delivery, so you could always avail yourself of that delivery system as well.
What happens? Okay, so you said you're not eating on time. So what is on time for yourself?
Okay, that's actually a very good question. Excuse me. When you're talking about on time, you should have a meal at least every 3 to 4. I wouldn't say 5. I'll say, okay, so let's say you get up. So let's say you have a breakfast at 7, 8 o'clock. 4 hours after would be 12. Then 4 hours after that would be 4 o'clock. And then 4 hours after that would be 8. So if you have a snack in between, yeah. So you should eat anywhere between every 3 or every 4 hours. If you're looking at losing weight, then you need to make your portion small and have like 3 meals. So you could have, let's say, a breakfast at 8. You could have something at 11. You could have an in between, lunch at maybe, let me see, 11, 12, 1, maybe 2, and then you go to 6. The thing was, if you have smaller meals and 4 for the day, if you are diabetic, you're going to get help with that because it's going to help to lower your blood sugar. If you want to lose weight, it's going to also help with weight management as well. So that's something you could pay attention to.
And how does your bedtime do you not eat?
Excuse me. Usually, what you should do is give yourself, if you know, now people talk about eating late, which is not really good for you per se, depending on what you eat, but it depends on your activity level. Because sometimes, let's say I go in the gym 6 o'clock, 7, maybe 8 o'clock in the night. I'm going to be hungry when I come back home, but what I'm going to eat, I'm going to have like maybe 3 boiled eggs and some salad, or maybe some steamed vegetables, broccoli, and whatever the case may be. So I could go to my bed at least 2 hours afterwards. Now, I use Digestive Balance, and I also use the stem cell digestive. So those help, especially for people who tend to work and sometimes you reach home late and you have to eat. If you take 2 or 3 of those, you don't have any problem. In about 45 minutes, that food gone. You literally could go and lie down and sleep. That's the Digestive Balance, the Digestive Restore, and or the stem cell digestive. All right, so usually give yourself at least 2 hours after you eat before you go to bed. All right, but try at night not to eat too much high carbohydrate food. So you don't want to eat, a lot of carbohydrates in the night. Let me just address a question quickly. Annabella Bay from the Tobago offices is asking if the Tobago branch is open. Let me just say something quick. We had a little situation in Tobago because we only have one individual there at this particular point in time, and that individual was in a situation where they had some exposure to someone with COVID. So as a result of that, that person had to quarantine, or they have to quarantine. So it was very difficult for us to send someone. So what we're doing is that God's willing, myself and other member staff would be in Tobago Monday and Tuesday. And then that young lady should come out from quarantine within the week. So everything is going to go back to normal in the Tobago office. But we do apologize for that. We had mentioned it and posted it up to you guys. So Annabella Bay, please take note of that. And I do apologize to the clients in Tobago. The new office in Tobago is actually getting along quite nicely. So God's willing, by the end of February, we should have that in stock with you for detox, your massages, and the list goes on. Okay? So please know that. That was a public service announcement. On my segment, yeah. Oh, office hours. Daybeer currently is open from a Wednesday to Saturday. That should change, God's willing, by the end of February. And that's open from 9 to 5. Shogunas is 8:30 to 5, Monday to Saturday. And St. James is 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. On a Saturday is 10 to 4. Okay? So you could take note of that. And those telephone numbers again are 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That is 314-9975. And those locations: first floor, Money Talks Building, Montrose, Shogunas. The Red Edge Mall, St. James Main Road. Western Main Road, St. James, and Davie, of course, is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Davie. Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. Keep in mind, we also have that special still running with the 441 package, which is the executive consultation, the live nutritional blood cell analysis, dry blood analysis, and the magnetic resonance analysis. And keep in mind, the scanning and the testing is not the issue. I always tell persons, a lot of people would ask, what is the difference between Batson and Associates and other natural or integrative establishments, or even Western medical protocol? And the difference is your diagnosis, as I always say, is not important to us, in the sense that our objective is not to deal with your symptomology. And your diagnosis is based on your symptomology. Our objective is to deal with your root cause, and that is what is fundamental. Whether you have hypertension, diabetes, acid reflux, cardiovascular problems, what is the root cause and how do we now address that so you don't end up in the situation, or the situation doesn't persist? No, it is not. Most diabetics get neuropathy simply because sorry, I was distracted by a message there. Simply because of the poor circulation situation. Because what happens with diabetics is that they end up with poor circulation, and as a result of poor circulation, they end up with neuropathy, which is nerve damage. So you have something known as diabetic neuropathy, and then you have neuropathy, which an individual could have, which is nerve damage, but they do not have diabetes. So you can get neuropathy and not be a diabetic. Let me just answer a question very quickly here. Someone on Facebook asked, what's the difference between the digestive stem cell, the digestive restore, and the digestive balance? What, you listening? Real good, boy. Good question. Okay, so digestive restore is primarily a herbal preparation that has papaya. It has papaya. It has, is it persimmon leaves, boy? And some other ingredient, which I just can't remember off the top of my head, but that's a herbal preparation. So digestive restore is primarily used to people to address the base aspect of the gastrointestinal system. So people who have things like Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, constipation, you're going to get that product. The digestive balance is more a product. So digestive restore could usually be taken on an empty stomach with a glass of water, as well as the digestive stem cell as well. Simply because that is something that works from the core aspect of the digestive system. The digestive balance is a digestive balance and a probiotic, whereas the digestive stem cell is a prebiotic a probiotic, and a digestive balance. So the digestive balance is primarily used after meals. So you have a problem with digestive, you know digestion, you know you're getting a lot of gas, a lot of bloating, you have problems, you feel full when you eat, that digestive product is very, very good for one to use. Okay, so you could always get some additional information on that. Yes.
All right, so we have two questions of 2994103. What causes growth in the bladder?
Causes growth in the bladder. All right. That's a bit vague when you say a growth. Okay. So okay, so let me answer it this way. What causes growth anywhere in the body? Now, it depends on the type of growth. Is it a tumor? Is it a cyst? Is it a stone? You know, so it depends. Stones, for example, always come. Sorry.
Okay, so according to answer, she has this growth in her bladder, she experiences bleeding, and she may need to have surgery.
So she has a growth in her bladder. Growth in her bladder, sorry. She's experiencing what? Bleeding. Bleeding after she urinates or during urinating?
Okay, so this thing you're gonna have to text.
Yeah, you're gonna give me a little more detail than that, my dear. All right. So but okay, let me start to address it. But the thing is, once it is any bladder situation or any growth, we need to address that aggressively. So we need to use stem cells. We're going to use some enzymes, that kind of thing, to start to bring down that inflammatory response. Because if you're experiencing growth, whether it's stones, tumors, cysts, it is usually an indication of high inflammatory, fibroids, all those type of things. So that's how we're going to have to address that. The blood that you're getting, if you're getting blood in your urine or while you're urinating, but it's not, you know, a lot of times you'll have blood in your urine and you don't see it, but they can do urine tests and they tell you that it has blood in it simply because of how low the amount is. But blood in urine is a serious indication, early signs of kidney problems, that type of thing. And if you have a bladder situation, and based on what you're saying, how serious it is, you could end up with serious urinary tract infection, serious kidney infection. And of course, you could end up losing, you know, a situation where you now have to get catheter put in, that type of thing. So we can address that for you. You can always give us a call. Those numbers again, 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. That is 314-9975. Repeat that. Charcoal will give you some help. Charcoal is primarily cleansing, you know, detox. It can, you know, it can, but I'm gonna have to see exactly. It depends on the, well, of course, you know, we're looking at activated charcoal. So I'm very brand specific there. So there are certain brands that I usually recommend. So yeah, what I'm gonna get some homework. I'm gonna do some research, and next week I'm gonna give you some more detail. I'm gonna elaborate a bit more on that for you. Okay. Anemia. Okay, so if you have anemia or you are anemic, one of the issues that you're having is that you have a low blood count situation. Now, one of the things that a lot of people don't understand, they think when you're anemic, you only have a problem with iron. A lot of times it's not only iron alone, you have a problem with B vitamins, the assimilation of those, as well as, well, your body's utilization, I should say, of those. So a lot of times, if you're anemic, you feel cold very quickly. One of the dead giveaways is if your blood pressure is very low, especially your upper number, that systolic number is very high, it is an indication of serious problems. So that's something that you need to pay very close attention to. But we can help that situation with the anemia. The Blackstrap Molasses is something that you should look at. Well, the organic Blackstrap Molasses, there's one that we carry at Batson Associates. I find it to be quite excellently priced. It's a 16-ounce bottle, and it is in a glass bottle. When I'm dealing with molasses, I always believe in glass bottles for a number of reasons. So that's something you need to pay very close attention to. It shouldn't be ready in plastic, you know, to preserve its integrity. And that's something that we have at Batson Associates. So you can use that. Oolong tea pu'er is also our next very good tea. We have that helps to build the blood count. Liver tea also going to help as well. So you could pay attention to those, and you know, you will actually be able to get some very good results where that is concerned. Okay, so those telephone numbers again are 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Nerve Restore, those of you, I know we have persons like literally dying for that product. We have gotten, so it has landed, but we're going to click, God's willing, we should get those things by Saturday. So we should have Nerve Restore. Optimizer, of course, we also have getting in that shipment as well. So that is something that we have for you guys. Blood sugar control as well, the eye optics formula, right? So we're getting those things under control. Santulan, Alkagen water in full stock. One of the things that we have to do too as well, as I was told someone the other day, Alkagen water has never changed price, never. That product has always been $35 for a 5 liter, and the 3 for $100. Basically, Santulan the same, a 1 week supply $100. You know, so those are things that we haven't changed. We have some changes coming up, obviously, because of certain things, but it's not ridiculous. We're not trying to kill you guys, because, you know, as I often tell persons, when you're talking about price and your health, you know, if you look at things like triple bypass, if you look at stroke rehabilitation, if you suffer a stroke and you have to do rehabilitation, you're looking at spending about $200,000, you know. An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Always remember that. Try your best. You know, the teas, we try to bring the teas, which is very reasonable. So, you know, if you may not be reading too well on the pocket area, you know, we know COVID, a lot of persons with business and whatnot, things are a little different now. So that's something to keep in mind. But at the end of the day, without good health, you can achieve nothing. So if you have to get some circulation tea, some gastro tea, that's not going to cost you money. 30 of those teas going to cost you about 180 or something. So, I mean, I don't usually call price, but, you know, that's just the vicinity. So, you know, that's something that you need to do, and pay attention to that. We have a question? Frequent urinating could be caused by a number of things. It could be caused by an alignment of an issue with your bladder, especially in females. So as a result of, especially if you have had children, so the bladder, you could have bladder prolapse or uterine prolapse, where things are resting on things, and as a result of that exertion or that irritation, you have frequent urinating. UTIs, urinary tract infections, could also cause that. Not drinking sufficient water. So dehydration could actually cause you to urinate more. So, you know, those are some of the things that you pay attention, to. And it can. Where if you're dehydrated, your body actually doesn't store water. It starts to, because remember, the body's going to be using that to clean. So it can't keep it there. It has to push it out of the system. So when you drink more water now, you actually now supporting the system, because remember, your body is 70% water. Your bones, your colon is the organ that suffers first when you are dehydrated, because your body takes water from the colon. That's why your stool is so hard when you're dehydrated and you become constipated, because it takes up all the water inside of there. All right? So that's something that you need to pay very, very close attention to. So again, we're very close to finishing up here, so let me wrap up. You know, keep in mind, as I said, those telephone numbers, 222-8261, that's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975, that is 314-9975. And those locations, we are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. Keep in mind, we do have that test package available. Well, we don't have open clinic days again because of COVID, but of course you can always take advantage of the days when yours truly is in office. Keep in mind, we also have our senior consultants, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Rene Bastamante, Mr. Paul Green, and all the other hardworking staff at Batson and Associates, Roma, in David, and all the other hardworking staff in Chaguanas, St. James, and Tobago. You have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, your health or your integrative health provider, supporting your health naturally. So as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. To the listeners on 103.1 FM, always a pleasure to be in your company. Do enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Be safe. You know, sanitize, social distance. Karen, always a pleasure. Look forward to being in your company next week, please God. You're very welcome. Take care. To our Facebook family, always a pleasure to be in your company. This morning, I am unfortunately I'm unable to continue with you guys because I have an engagement to go and see about. And of course, we're going back on. We'll be on radio again. We'll be on Akashvani 106.1 FM from 12:15, and that we will be having on our Instagram feed, which is Batson and Associates Trinidad. TT, sorry, on Instagram. Yeah, YouTube is Batson and Associates Trinidad. So you can join us there, and always a pleasure to be in your company. We have a very exciting program for you guys also on Sunday from 9. Nice packed program. So you have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. And, take care. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And if you want to tune in on Instagram later on or 12:15, you can feel free to do so. Okay? God bless and enjoy the rest of your Thursday morning.